Hi everyone, and welcome to your prenatal Hatha yoga flow today. We are going to be going through a really nice and quick morning or evening routine, and it's going to be really tailored to your body and how you feel today. And we're going to be working on our hips and lengthening the side body, and it's going to be just a really nice transition for you during all trimesters. And I'm going to make it short and sweet so you could fit it in throughout your day, in the morning, and I'm also going to give more restorative options at night as well. So join me and Lilu on your mat and we'll get started. All right, everyone, so we're gonna start in an easy seat. If your hip bones are a little sore today, you can grab a pillow or a bolster. You can also grab a block if you have one. They are really nice to just sit your hips up a little bit higher than your knees, and you can even bring your legs out a little bit further than normal. Give your growing belly some space and just give your hips a little bit more opening here. We're going to get started with just tapping into the breath. So you can keep your hands on your knees, bring your hands to your heart, or you can even put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. We're going to take just a couple moments here to really tune in to the sound of your breath, any movement you may feel with the hand on the belly. And just take a couple deep breaths here and really just settle in to this moment. Oftentimes we're moving so fast during our day-to-day lives, we don't just take a moment just to sit and recognize our breath, see how we're doing in our physical body, our mental space, our emotional body, and even our spiritual body. Just take a moment to check in, whatever that means to you today. And if you want to set an intention or even use a mantra for today's class, you can do that here. Even if it's something as simple as, I am strong and capable. And take a couple moments here. Check in with that breath. And then whenever you're ready, wherever your hands are, bring them to your chest. Take a reverent bow, chin towards the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. And just give yourself gratitude for this moment here today. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. And we're going to start moving. So on an inhale, bring your arms all the way up to the sky. Deep breath in. And exhale, palms to your heart. A couple more just like that. Deep breath in. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, palms to your heart. One more time just like that. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, palms to your heart. On your next inhale, deep breath in. And reach the right arm down towards the mat. They don't have to come flat onto the mat. You could just stay on your fingertips. Deep breath and reach through the side body, lengthening through all the way from your hip all the way up into your pinky. And if it feels comfortable, you can come a little further to the side, but just see how your belly is feeling today. If you have any space that you can move into, and just breathe into that space. One more deep breath in, and deep breath out. And deep breath in all the way up to the top. And then exhale right into the other side. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches all the way up to the sky. And if you do need a block to come up on here, that's perfectly fine. If your fingertips reach, that's great too. Keep breathing here. Deep breath in. Keep the collarbone open, chest nice and open. Exhale. And inhale all the way up to the sky. Reach, reach, reach. And exhale. Palms to your heart. Great job. We're going to come on to a tabletop position. If you need to put a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees, feel free to do so. You can just bring that right underneath your knees. We're going to do just a little bit of spinal flex just to see how our spine is doing today. So gently place your palms right underneath your shoulders. Eyes at the elbows facing forward, knees underneath the hips. Take a deep breath in and drop the belly, lift the hips. And it doesn't have to be a full cow here. You can even simply just look forward, open up the chest, and then exhale round through the shoulders. And if your chest is coming towards your chest or near your belly, if you're feeling any restriction, just push through the palms and lift the shoulder blades up and round through. Beautiful. A couple more like that. Deep breath in, look forward. And exhale, round through into your cat. However it feels good today. One more just like that. Inhale in, drop the belly, lift the chest. And exhale, round through. And then inhale back to a tabletop. We're going to take a moment to stretch the side body again. So take a gaze right over to your left shoulder towards your left side. And then do the same on the other side. Bring your hips over to the left, head over to the right. Really stretching through that side body, giving us a length. And a couple more just like that on your own. See how it feels to move today. Bump the hips to the right, look over to the left toes. Bump the hips to the left, look over your right shoulder. And come back to center. Now you can keep the pillow where it's at, or you can pop it over to the side. We're going to come into our first down dog of the day. Now if you're further along in your trimester, you want to make sure that you're staying with like a nice wide down dog. But if you're in your first trimester, take your normal down dog. See how you feel, really pressing into the space between your forefinger and your thumb and into the base of your knuckles. Tuck your toes. Inhale, lift the heels all the way back and your hips all the way up. Take a deep breath in here. You can widen your stance as much as you need. You can take a really nice wide dog. You can even bring your hands almost off of your mat just to give your shoulders more space. And your heels don't have to touch at all. That's perfectly fine. You can even bend your knees a little bit if that's comfy. Deep breath in here. Gaze towards your knees. Couple more deep breaths here. Strengthening the arms. You could pedal out the legs if that feels nice. Great job. One more deep breath in here. And exhale. Let it all go. And then we're going to ease towards the top of the mat. So even if you can take just 2 steps here and then come up to a wide forward fold, that's perfectly okay. Making sure we're keeping room here. And then if you want to take a forward fold with a couple blocks, that's perfectly fine too. Make room for baby. But if you want to come down into a forward fold, if you're in your first trimester and it feels nice on your hip flexors, you can come down a little further here. Deep bend in the knees if that feels good. You could be wider than hip width apart here, so you don't have to have that foot lock here. You don't have to be so tight in the feet. You can bring them really wide. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. On your next inhale, come into a flat back. If you're using a block, you can rest your fingers on your block. Deep breath in. And exhale, forward fold one more time. And then inhale, swim the arms all the way up to the sky, reach. And exhale, hands to your heart. Beautiful job. We're going to take one more just like that, and we're going to add on just a little bit. Inhale all the way up to the sky, and exhale, take your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. From here, we're going to step the right foot back. And if you have your blocks handy or pillows handy, even a couple books works really nice. We're going to place our knee down onto the mat. So our right knee comes to the mat. Untuck the toes, come onto the top of the foot. Knee stacking over, front ankle on the left side. And here, if you do need to bring your foot out a little bit more to make room for your belly, you can do that as well. That actually will get into your hips just a little bit more to really feel nice and open. And we don't want to push too far down into this hip. So if it feels better, you can come up and just stay up here into your low lunge. And then on your next inhale, if it feels comfortable for you today, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Check in here. If you feel a little wobbly, that's okay. Inhale. One more time. And exhale, float the hands all the way back down. Beautiful job. And you can use your blocks here to bring your left knee all the way back to meet your right, and then come into your down dog. If you also want to use your blocks for underneath your hands to give yourself more room in your down dog, that's also a really great option too. And like I said, if you don't have blocks, you can always use a couple books or pillows. Deep breath in here and exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. Beautiful job. On your next inhale, come forward a little bit and bring that right foot in. If you need a couple steps or 3, that's perfectly fine. And another trick, if you're coming in from, say, a plank or your knees, you can bring your foot out a little bit further around. That way it's not a tight squeeze. So we're going to come into our low lunge on this side. So get comfy, find a good spot. You can bring your foot out to the right side of the mat as far as you need. You can even bring this knee in a little bit closer for you too. Whatever feels good. Just settle in here. And whenever you feel ready, we're going to lift out of that pelvic floor, lift out of those hips, and inhale our hands all the way up to the sky. Crescent lunge or Anjaneyasana. Inhale here. And exhale, settle in. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale here. And exhale all the way down. Beautiful job. We're actually going to come all the way back to our knees. So we're going to come back into that tabletop position. And you can use your blocks or pillows, whatever feels good for you. You're going to swing your legs to either side and come back onto your sit bones. And we're going to get comfy here. Here's where you can grab your pillows, whatever feels comfortable for you today. You can even grab your blocks. We're going to take a nice wide-legged forward fold. So we're going to make room for that belly, but it's also really nice just to get into your hips as well. So take your feet nice and wide on your mat, and you can use your block or a pillow on top of the block, whatever feels comfy for you today. We're going to inhale all the way up and exhale, forward fold up and over. Now, if you want to stay here, that's perfectly fine. If you want to even bring your head to your palms here, that's a great option too. If you're not using any of these little props today, you're just going to let your belly hang out right in between your knees, snuggle in, and just relieve some of the pressure off of that lower back body and even the middle and top portion of our back up into our thoracic spine and our shoulders. If it feels comfortable, let your head go, let your neck go. Release any tension in the neck you might be carrying. And your knees can stay bent here. If it feels comfortable to bring them flat to the ground, that's perfectly fine. We don't want to put too much strain on our joints, especially during pregnancy when we have the hormone relaxin going through our body and really making our joints more mobile than they normally are. So we don't want to push ourselves too much. Just be mindful, check in with your breath. See how you're feeling here. And feel free to always change it up. So if you want to come back up and see how you feel here, just play here. See what feels best and settle in. A couple more deep breaths here. And whenever you're ready, we're going to slowly roll one vertebrae at a time. Come all the way up to sit. And then from here, we're actually going to come onto our backs. So there's a couple, now from here, we're actually going to, you could stay on this side of your mat or you can come sideways. We're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold instead of a closer forward fold. So we're going to try to get into these inner thighs here and the inner hip creases just to release any tension that you may have, especially in SI joints or your psoas up front here and your hip flexors. We're going to release all of that here. If this feels comfortable, that's perfectly fine. Stay here, but take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, you can fold forward as much as it feels comfortable. And whatever your body is allowing you today, you can even take your arms off to the side. If you want a more restorative practice today, you can actually take 2 books or a block and grab a pillow, and you can lean forward here and just let your head hang. However feels good for you today. If you're taking a more restorative practice at nighttime, this is a good option. If you want more release in the backs of the calves and the hamstrings, flex your feet and point your toes towards your face. But if you're taking that more restorative practice today, you can just let your feet go. Whatever feels good. You can even play around with it, see which one feels better. And just take a deep breath in here. Checking in again. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Find whatever feels good for you today. Couple more deep breaths here. Whenever you feel ready, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Move whatever props you may have today. And we're going to come on to our backs. So we're going to come all the way down from here. If you want to activate a little bit of that core strength, you can take your fingers out in front of you and roll down one vertebrae at a time, massaging through the back body. And come all the way down. And from here, we're just going to take a moment to windshield wiper the legs. So take your feet out as wide as the mat. Let your knees drop to one side. And if you want, and if it feels comfortable in your body, you can bring that top foot on top of the left thigh, if that feels good. Get a nice release in the hip flexor here. Keep your hands on your belly or out to the side. Or you can even cactus the arms if you want more of a chest opener today. Whenever you're ready, you can windshield wiper to the other side. Placing the foot on top of the ankle on top of the other thigh if that feels good. Couple more deep breaths here. And then whenever you're ready, come back to center. We're going to take our right foot all the way up to the sky and cross it over into a reclined figure four. If this feels comfortable here for you and that's enough release in your hip creases, that's perfectly fine. If you feel like you need a little bit more in your body today, you can scoot your left heel closer to your hips and then release it that way. Or you can even take a strap or a dish towel and put it behind your thigh for a little bit more of a stretch. We're going to just take a couple more breaths here. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep breath in. And on your next exhale, release the right leg. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So reach your foot all the way up. You could rotate your ankles if that feels nice. Rotate your feet, stretch your toes. And then we're going to bring that left ankle all the way to the right knee. And again, you can always inch your planted foot a little bit closer to your hips for a deeper stretch. Or you can put a scarf, or if you have a yoga strap behind your thigh, you can do that as well. Even if you just want to bring your foot up just for a moment, see how it feels. Maybe rock side to side a little bit, massaging the sacrum. That can get a little tender. So just see what feels good in your body today. A couple more deep breaths in here. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And release the left leg. From here you can come into a normal Shavasana, or I invite you to take a bound angle, supine bound angle here, or a butterfly. And you can either bring your hands to your hip creases, or you can return to one hand on the heart and one on the belly to connect with the beautiful life that you are creating and growing, the beautiful soul that's coming into the world in not too long of a time. Take a couple moments here, revisit that intention if you set one earlier in your practice, and just take a moment to give yourself gratitude for the beautiful and powerful things that your body is doing for you, and for the little joy that's within. Take a deep breath in here and exhale. Settle in to that strength. And you can stay here as long as you wish. You could pause the video and come back. But if you are ready to get rolling and moving throughout your day to do amazing things, bring your palms to your heart to connect with that breath, that vital life force that's running through you and the soul inside. And then bring your palms and bring your thumbs to your forehead, to that inner teacher, that inner wisdom and guidance that guides us through our every choice that we make every day. And give yourself gratitude and love and appreciation for following your intuition each day. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. Please visit ahampremaglow.com for more, and leave a comment down below and let me know how you feel, how baby feels, and I wish you the most beautiful journey that you are on. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.